Panama's Canal, Ukraine, Greenland, Canada, and the Middle East. What those these five things they all have in common? Well, the word is Donald J. Trump and the upcoming American behavior regarding the geopolitical game. So Trump is playing war and he's playing hard. Okay, so the Panama Canal was built initially by the French. The French they ended up giving up the process. The Americans took over. They built it at high cost. Thousands and thousands of Americans died in the process, but it's finally there as a miracle of the civil engineering. Okay, so after many years, the American government they handed over to the government of Panama, and they have been with the Panama's Canal since then, controlling all the process, and over 50% of the ships that pass through the Panama's Canal, they are American. Okay, so this reduced the price of shipping, global shipping, significantly between the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean. Otherwise, they would have to go all the way down to Chile and circulate it. Then they would be able to go ahead. So it make a lot easier for South American countries and also some places in the United States to ship one thing from the Atlantic to the Pacific and vice versa. Okay, a lot of people they have not talking much about Chinese expansion in South America. They have been getting a lot of deals with new governments, and one of the main strategies regarding Trump's administration for the 2025 is slowing down or stopping China One Belt One Road initiative. They have been expanding rapidly in Asia. They have done a lot of work in the Africa, and also now they have been heavily investing in the South America. So we just had in Brazil one of the Ford factories they shut down. A new Chinese electric car fabric has just opened up, and they're basically dumping their cars and their technology throughout those countries and expanding their influence by uh, bribing politicians, corrupt politicians, and also dumping a lot of money into it. So all of the infrastructure built are basically focused on promoting their products, integrating with their economy, and expanding their influence. And these things are giving great results for China. Okay, those countries that they own favors to China, they can not just vote against the Chinese Communist parties when it comes to the United Nations elections, and they can do some concessions for the Chinese government in order to use some parts of their land and even parts in case of they are not able to pay back the debt contracted with the government of China as an investment. So either way, China is gonna win when it comes to funding those smaller countries. They will either win by building infrastructure that can tie it up with their plans, One Belt One Road initiative. They will win when they receive back the invested money from these governments, and they win also if these governments are not able to afford these payments, because it is in a contract that they can take it over and they can just use this infrastructure. On the other hand, if you want to get the money from US or from the International Monetary Fund, you had to basically prove then that you are responsible, that if I'm getting the money from you, I am showing you that I'm being responsible with the budget, that I'm taking all the measure to reduce the cost, that this money is not going to be wasted in corruption, and it will be used to improve the life quality of my inhabitants. So China doesn't care about it. China just care about its own agenda, and that's why they are pushing very hard, expanding very hard. On the other hand, Trump has rised. He rised as a wall to slow down or to stop the Chinese government for expanding its tentacles in the South America. With the Panama Canal takeover, I think that Donald Trump wants to at least have a better deal of the Panama's administration to charge less for the American ships, and that way the American products they can be more competitive on the Asian markets and compete against the Chinese goods. That's my perspective. When it comes to Greenland, they want to use that place as a way to project their influence, considering that Greenland is a very key spot on the Arctic, and the ice there is melting. New navigation routes are just popping out. The government of Denmark, they already say they are not going to sell it. They say it's open for business but not for sale. So the fact is, will the American government take over by force, or will they try to keep negotiation fair and square? Will they try to negotiate fairly, pay for the usage of the Greenland? Okay, we have seen throughout the years that American military budget has been skyrocketing. That's a matter of fact. America has well-paid military personnel compared to other countries, have a lot of strike groups to maintain, and these strike groups come with submarines and aircraft carriers and many airplanes. So it's very costly to the American taxpayer to project their power and use the influence throughout the world. But if you have no cannon, if you have no power, you cannot be a big player. That's a matter of fact. Okay, so America must keep its power, must keep its influence, but at the same time, America must slow down China's government if America wants to keep itself as the number one player in the world. So to do that, they have to end all the conflicts that it's not directly related to them, just like the Ukrainian war that the American government and Biden's administration has been dumping a lot of taxpayers' money, and a lot of these resources that have been delivered to the Ukrainian government, apparently they have not been administrated correctly, and a lot of these resources might have been wasted due to corruption. So fact is, the war of Ukraine must end, must come to a resolution, and independently of which side is going to take the best deal, everybody's gonna lose. A lot of lives were lost from the Ukrainian side, from the Russian side alike. A lot of lives were already lost because the North Korean soldiers have been taking heavy casualties. They were basically used as a cannon fodder, and I'm going to talk about it in another video. And also on the Middle East, Trump is going to heavily support the Israeli regime and its attempt to expand its borders, to expand its influence, to weaken its rival from the resistance axle. Okay, so right now, basically the Israeli government has been taken down all the major groups, and even they help out to, to dethrone the Syrian regime with Assad already fleeing the country, and now he's in Russia. So right now the only big player in the game is the government of Iran and the Houthis in the Yemen that still pose some resistance against the Israeli government. It's a very interesting dynamic that's going to happen after Donald Trump take over the American's president chair. And let's see what's gonna happen. Do you think that the government of Panama will have trouble dealing with Trump? Do you think that they will try to take Greenland by force? How Trump is going to slow down or stop China to spread its tentacles in the South America and spread its influence, and how the American government will still keep itself relevant with the upcoming dynamics in the world? Do you think that Israel is going to keep expanding its borders all the way up to the current Syrian state? Or do you think that they will even support the Syrian state to be split, and the Kurdistan, a node partner from the Americans, will emerge from the ashes? What do you think it's gonna happen? Leave in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'm Dave Martins from the Global Checkmate, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye from now.